In Uncanny X-Men, Jean Grey, Bishop, X-23, Iceman, and Northstar find themselves in modern-day Jurassic Park as they fight off a fuck ton of dinosaurs, as anomalies like this have been happening all across the world. As some of the dinosaurs go to rush some of the civilians that were protesting the mutants, Bishop and Iceman go to head the dinosaurs off. Iceman freezes several dinosaurs while Bishop shoots one in the leg, stopping it in its tracks. Bishop returns a sign to one of the people that were out there protesting the X-Men to begin with. But as Bishop and Iceman go to reunite with the team, Jean Grey uses her telepathic ability to reach out to Storm, as Storm's team went to go deal with the Multiple Man earlier. But as Jean reaches out to Storm, she sees how fucked the situation is, as Storm, Polaris, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and Psylocke are fighting an army of Multiple Men. Meanwhile, back at the Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach, the young X-Men get an unlikely guest in the form of Legion, son of Xavier. Now, Legion wants to come inside, but some of the younger X-Men are apprehensive. But as some of the protesters throw a rock, Legion gets pissed off. Armor tells Legion to come inside as she doesn't want a bloodbath in front of the mansion. But elsewhere, above Russell Springs, Kansas, as Jean Grey's team arrive, they see how dire the situation really is, as Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man, has seemingly duplicated himself tens of thousands of times. And to make matters worse, these Jamie clones are seemingly all manifesting different powers. But as Jean Grey is trying to come up with a plan, she tells Psylocke to take her hand as she has an idea. But back at the X-Men mansion, as Legion asks where the older X-Men are, Pixie tells him they went to go deal with Jamie Madrox, the Multiple Man. Now, upon hearing this, Legion starts freaking out and seemingly losing control. But back in Kansas, as Jubilee is getting overwhelmed, Northstar goes to assist her, but Northstar ends up getting put down. As Jubilee is felled, Nightcrawler would teleport both Jubilee and Northstar to safety. But as the rest of the X-Men are holding off the army of Jamie clones, Jean Grey takes the hand of Psylocke as she uses her psionic abilities to amplify Psylocke's abilities. With the help of Jean Grey, Psylocke is finally able to focus and able to hone in on the real Jamie. Now, upon honing in on the real Jamie Madrox, all the other Jamie clones finally stop. As the clones fall to the floor, Jean Grey can sense that their minds are finally clear. But back at the X-Men mansion, as Legion starts to lose it, he starts to bang his head against the floor. Suddenly, an entirely different Legion is standing in front of the young X-Men. As Legion goes into rage mode, in a burst of energy, he sends all the young X-Men flying back. Now, Armor and Rockslide charge Legion as Armor yells to him this is exactly why she didn't want to let him inside. But Legion easily pushes the young X-Men back. Meanwhile, back in Kansas City, they finally locate the real Jamie Madrox, as he's tied up in a chamber directly below where they were fighting an army of Jamie clones. Jamie is thrilled to see the X-Men as he tells them he has a Legion to kill. As the X-Men are flying back to the X-Men mansion, Jamie informs them that this was all Legion's doing. He tells them that Legion tied him up and then went inside his mind and forced him to duplicate himself for days. But as the X-Men are flying back to the mansion, Jean senses something is wrong as she can't reach anyone at the mansion. Meanwhile, in Central Park, Manhattan, Beast is also heading back to the mansion after a successful recovery mission. But as Beast approaches the mansion, he sees Rockslide as he gets sent flying through the wall. And in the middle of all the chaos, Legion stands tall as he's beating the shit out of the younger X-Men. But luckily, as Jean Grey and the rest of the team arrives, the younger X-Men gets a much-needed backup. Now, Jean tells Armor to take the younger X-Men and go evacuate the civilians. But Armor doesn't take so kindly to that, as they're the ones Legion started the fight with, and now Jean Grey is putting them on crowd control. But the younger X-Men listen as Jean Grey informs them she's asking them to go help save lives. But as Legion is pushing the X-Men back, they all get third-partied by someone they weren't expecting. Magneto, Blob, Omega Red, and Angel arrive, and they don a new look, as they are now the Horsemen of Salvation. They tell the X-Men they're here to save the world, and to do this, they must start by destroying the X-Men. And they start by absolutely obliterating the X-Men mansion. To be continued.